Good morning. In June 2008, I have done, along with Adriano Comollo, 6 in-depth interviews to Italians converts to the Mormon Church living in Utah. In these interviews, we were asking each of them to tell their life from the religious point of view, their conversion, the transfer to the USA, and their adjustment to American life. Although centered on one aspect, the religion, the story was dealing with the experiences of their entire life, and through it revealed, in a sense, their destiny, the biographical developments that have led to what they are now, starting from initial conditions. And these conditions were the family, which provided the psychological and cultural baggage, the environment of departure. In most cases, it was the south of Italy, Apulia, Naples, Sicily. The social class they belonged mostly was the small clerical bourgeoisie. Their religion at the beginning usually was the Catholic religion. All of these influences have helped to build the character of the subject and to identify the basic issues that have guided his or her behavior so far. In each interview, it is possible to identify the main motivations that have driven the choices and given meaning to the journey recounted in the interview. The interview was an opportunity for the subject to tell, to summarize, and to rediscover the meaning of what he or she has done so far, and what he or she will do in the future. The stories provided by respondents are in the form of a narrative in which the subject is the protagonist, the hero, and actor of his own destiny. No wonder, to give meaning to our existence is important for the mental health of each of us. The narrative, and in a sense the epic dimension of the interview, was accentuated by the fact that the person knew that it would be kept in the archives of the Historical Society of Utah, and it would become, in a sense, a historical document. And the person, naturally, wanted to provide a consistent and positive image of him or herself. This fact explains the refusal of some of them to be interviewed on the ground. I have nothing interesting to say. Of course, nothing that is worthy of getting into the historical document. These people were, for some reason, considering their life as a bankrupt or not exemplary. In each interview, the subject has described his life as consistent to a certain model from his/her point of view, and has identified the basic goals that have driven his or her personal adventure. Let's see some of them. In one case, the explanation of the conversion is found by the subject in his own family history. a father who emigrated to America for several years, nurtures in his son the American myth. Is that dream that pushes him to join the Mormon missionaries and to get involved with the church and eventually to decide to visit America and live in Utah. In another case, however, the continuity of one's path is searched in the fascination for mythology that started in early childhood while playing with objects scattered in the ground around a necropolis in a city of the southern Italy that was once a Greek polis. This interest is evolving towards the myth of contemporary cinema and comics, and then turns towards the American myth and Mormonism that embodies and deifies it. In another case, the interest in Mormons is developed from the need to reconstruct the genealogy of one's family scattered between the south of Italy and Scandinavia. An interest which extends from the genealogy of one's family to the genealogical research within the structures of the Mormon Church, and then it becomes a profession and personal mission. In another case, a woman, the daughter of a Sicilian migrants in the north of Italy, places at the heart of her story the indomitable spirit of adventure and independence. Indeed, it is her desire for intense experiences that push her to get closer to Mormon missionaries, to accept a transfer to study in the USA, and to remain there and start a family. It is this same spirit that helps her to find the courage to break the marriage, placing herself at odds with the social environment and start a new life, including the religious one. Finally, another interviewee, struck by a family tragedy, finds in the Mormon religion and in its doctrine the eternal families, an explanation that gives meaning to a mournful event.